A sort of general question, and I'd love a quick answer from each of you. When it comes to salary now, as sort of a tool to retain talent and demonstrating care or well-being, where do you think well-being and salary are sort of equal now in terms of the perceived value, or will people chase a bit more money and forego well-being and culture? Like, do you think that there's well-being is a significant lever with respect to retaining talent and building performance within a team, Chris?
Yeah, look, I'll give you, it's a complicated answer and probably not the one you're after. I think, like, our industry has been, unfortunately, in this, addicted to this war of salary because the supply constraints have been so difficult. That was really the only lever we had, right? So, unfortunately, that's the world that you've occupied probably for the entire time we've been in business. But it's what's clear to me, and I'm sure John and Tim will agree with me, that to a person, that just has a diminishing return for them. There's definitely a diminishing return for the business, just another $10,000 to stop you from going elsewhere, and that just, like, you've got to pay another $10,000 to poach someone else just to keep up with your growth. That, for a business, has an obvious diminishing return that it's not too hard for people to work out. But for the individual, it does too. And we see, so often the case that someone chased the extra money and left, and are like, actually, it wasn't sufficient for the conditions that I've been, exported to. I actually regret doing that. So I think it becomes a lot more relevant, but it needs to play out within our industry such that those. First of all, we've made it a place where people aren't burning out at such a high rate that we're constantly trying to backfill and then compete with your competitors to just keep your head above water in recruitment. So it doesn't have a nice, it's a journey. I think we're on a journey as an industry.
Yeah, I don't think you're isolated in that either. Sorry, John, we can.
I was going to say that. Definitely agree, Chris. I think as the industry's maturing, those good, experienced, top-tier strata managers that we want to retain forever, they're maturing in their thinking as well, more aware around all the different psychosocial risks and hazards that come with this wonderfully rewarding industry, but certainly the challenges associated with it. So, your top-tier managers, for the sake of an extra 10 grand here and there, they're already at such a level where they're being paid appropriately that it doesn't really make that much more of a difference. So, yeah, absolutely on that attraction piece, but also on the retention piece, what else can we as businesses offer? But, not just that, it's also, again, then giving back to the industry, back to the staff and the personnel around that holistic approach to their well-being. The flexi work arrangements and all those things were the rage back in the day. Again, that's standard practice now in terms of work from home arrangements available and offering to staff. So it's really what's the next thing. But I think you've touched on it previously, Chris, as well. It's that sort of hard hat approach. The coal miners 200 years ago went into battle without any protection, and then someone came up with a hard hat. All of a sudden, you start losing less of them down in the mines. Now, again, our workers on the front line are dealing with all of the social issues, psychological issues, mental health downfall in society. It's just so prevalent now in all the buildings that we look after. There's almost not a building without, the old the challenging person. Used to be 1 in 10, but now it seems to be more and more. So again, the better equipped the team can be in processing and dealing with that conflict, and without it impacting on them personally long term, the better we can lift the industry altogether.
Yeah, and I sorry to jump in, but I've cultivated sort of a line that I've been using over and over. I think we all are congratulating ourselves for being so forward thinking and having this great initiative and great CU Health. I am proud of it, but the more I think about it, the more I think, well, is it an innovative outlier sort of thing, or is it just necessary, And the mine shaft is a great example. No one at BHP gives themselves an innovation award because they have protective gear when they send people into dangerous work conditions, and they don't celebrate with awards the fact that they had doctors on standby when the injuries invariably happen. And I think that's how we need to view this. It's great. We should be proud of it. But this is necessary. This is not surplus to requirements. This is meeting requirement. And I think as an industry, we are deficient in meeting that minimum requirement.
That's a really interesting point, Chris. I mean, obviously, I agree with that, and that's why we're doing the work we are.